Hi guys, this is Deb with Four Seasons Crafts. Hello, hello. Well, here we are, 3 days before Christmas, right? So exciting. I thought I would come on and show you a couple cards, 3 to be exact, that we made in the last card class that I had. So we're going to just dive right in. And then I am going to show you a couple cards from a card kit that we also did at that event, because we played some bingo, which was fun. And I just want to show you that kit. I'm not going to put the cards together, but I am going to show you, excuse me, the box that you can get with it. So here we go. So I'm going to show you these 3 cards. They're all flowery cards. I feel like I don't do a lot of flowery cards. Probably should do more. But here we go. So we are going to start with a piece of mossy meadow seafoam, soft seafoam. And this is the kits that everybody gets when they come. They get an envelope and then the pieces are already cut for them. That way they can spend more time stamping and just enjoying the company. So let me go ahead and go through the measurements with you real quickly so that you have that and I don't forget. This is a piece that is 3 inches by 6 inches. And one of the things we did differently in this class than in other classes is I gave everyone a piece of these 3 by 6. And that is for the flap of your envelope. So the envelope they get, each one of these will be put on the outside and then we trim around it. So I'll show you one. Just in case you're new and you haven't done that before. Then you have a piece that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. Then you have a piece, and this paper came from the fall paper, and I'm sad to say I cannot think of the name of it off the top of my head. So if anybody knows it, put it in the comments. I'll probably have it in the video. I'll add it. So we need a small piece that we are going to use that is 3 inches by 1 inch. So 3 by 1. And then this piece is 5 by 2. Or I'm sorry, that's actually that is 5 by 2. And I'm sorry. And then this piece is 5 1/8 by 2 1/8. And this is shaded spruce. Okay, and then you're going to have a piece for the inside, and this is 3 by 4 1/4. And with this class, I did something a little different. So normally I do 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of the card, and I decided to switch it up a little bit. Sometimes we don't need a card that has all that white space. So this is just a way that you can do kind of 3 by 4 1/4, and you get more cuts for the inside of your card, and also your message can be just a tad bit smaller. And then we have a piece that is cut from the label dies, excuse me, the stitched label dies. And one of the things you'll notice is there's no hole. So I showed this, I think I showed it in a video, but if not, I will show you in a future video how to do that. But if you do not have those dies, they are awesome because you can run them through the die cut with the hole, and you can run them through the die cut without a hole. There's only one, I think there's only one that you can't do it with, because you can run it through any of them as long as you have those straight sides. So we'll talk more about that later. All right, so let's go ahead and put this card together. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and fold our card and give it a good crease. And then on the outside of this card, we're actually going to take some soft sea foam. And I just realized, you know, sometimes you guys, I think I come here and I'm all prepared, and I think I left all my greetings, seriously, in the other room. So, okay, just when I think. All right, stand by. They should all be together. Hold on, hang tight. One second. As I film in one room, my stuff is in another room. I do all my work in a third room. So I have a crafting area. All right. So we're gonna be using 3 different stamp sets. Grateful Blessings. I love the sayings on this stamp set. I do. These cards are not, they're more thinking of you and thank yous and birthdays. But this is a stamp that we're going to use. I don't know if those are, I can't think of what those are called, but they're super cute. But we're just going to use them to make an outline on our stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. And we're going to pop this up on a block. And we're going to use it as a little bit of a background. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And you can use this, or you can use the same color cardstock, or I'm sorry, same color ink as the cardstock, or you can use Versamark. Either one, you kind of get the same effect. So if you were new to stamping, and you would like this technique, I would almost suggest that maybe you buy Versamark, because you can get a lot more kind of wear out of it, so to speak, you know, because any cardstock you have, you'll get this same kind of effect. So that is the first thing we're going to do. And we're just basically stamping all the way around. And as much as you can, be a little bit not so uniform. We are going to put something right here, so we don't need it to be right up to the edge, or excuse me, all the way in the middle there. So let me go ahead and clean my stamp. You know, I need a new sham. So that is like one of the things I am going to get, I believe, after Christmas. So we'll be able to have something that's a little more new. So all we did was stamp around, and you guys can hopefully see there, you get that nice little image. All right, so now we're going to take our pieces and we're just going to adhere them where they go. So first thing is, we're going to take our piece here and we're going to put it right on top of the shaded spruce. Okay, here we go. We're just going to make sure it's nice and even. So before I really push down, this gives me an opportunity to kind of adjust and make sure everything is lined up where I like it. And this is just an 1/8 of an inch border for this particular piece. So then we can smooth it out. Okay, so first things first, we are going to take this and put it kind of right here on the center. So we're just going to add some adhesive and put this right in, kind of right in the middle there. We're just going to have some of it peek out and show. And this is just a small piece. So you guys can find scraps that are like this that give your card just a little more of a layered look. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it right here. Okay, so we're just going to adhere that. And again, we're just adhering it with adhesive. No need for, I'm realizing as I'm putting this card together, all the many things that I think I forgot to include in my area here where I'm filming all of a sudden. Okay, so before I push that down just a little bit more, I'm gonna get it a little more centered. So I just want a small border to appear and put it like that. Now we're gonna bring in our label here, and we're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting. Now the greeting we're going to use is coming from another stamp set, so let me get that one out. And again, greetings are those things that whatever cards you use the most, right? Those are the ones you always want to have on hand. And I do find I use a lot of thinking of you, praying for you, thank yous. You know, those are all cards that seemingly we use a lot of. So I am using this Friends for Life and the Thinking of You. Again, great stamp set with a lot of sayings and even some good background stamps that would be perfect for any card. Okay, so we're going to take this Thinking of You and we're going to use Mossy Meadow here. If I'm not mistaken, I think I inked this up pretty well the last time I had it. So I want to make sure I get a good, oops, sorry about the clicking there. Oh, let me get some good ink. See some of it. All right, I have a part that's really dark and another part that's not so dark. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to end up getting here. So, you know what? I'm going to try it on the reverse side first. Just in case I'm getting a two-toned look there. You know, that's not bad, but we'll go ahead now and see if we can stamp this. Get a good color. You know what? I think it's fine. I think we might end up with a couple different tones, but that doesn't bother me too much. There are times I think it actually kind of adds a little bit to a stamped image, you know, where it's a little bit dark and light. It almost looks like you planned it that way. All right. And it's handmade, right? People love it. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and we will adhere that to the front of our card. Let me grab our dimensionals here. And here we go. So we'll just put on a few of these and call it good. All right. And that just goes kind of right here. Make sure that's, oops, it's just before we push that down, let's just make sure that it's a little bit more straight. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Okay, you know how I told you guys I think I'm losing it? I think I left our thread that we need, and let me just make sure. What else did I forget? And then let me get our at least our faux dots. So hold on one. Okay. So we're just going to use this, and then if I'm missing anything else, we're going to ad-lib it, okay? All right. So we are using this gold twisted thread. This is on it's an online exclusive. So it's really, it's very nice. It's thin. I wouldn't call it like linen thread by any means. It's a little more coarse. Let me find out where I'm kind of starting it here. And because I do find for sure I have to tape it because it does unravel. So I just pull off some here and make a long, big bow. So this particular card, I think we were going to have kind of a longer, larger bow. And we're just going to kind of twist that down. We're going to give it some long ears. Not too terribly, not too long. There we go. And we're going to just trim that up. All right. And I don't think we used this one again, so we'll put this away. Okay. And we're just going to tighten that up just a little bit more. And we might end up cutting that a little bit more off, but now we're just going to take this and we're going to put it right here. We're going to take a glue dot and just kind of roll it up a little bit. Oops. And put our bow right on top. There we go. And we're just going to put that right on the side. Okay, so that is a little bit longer than I probably wanted. So we'll just trim it down just a tad. And there you have it. So it looks a little more wispy, I guess I would say. And then we have these transparent adhesive back dots. But so I was wrong as far as what they're called. But see how they look really like glassy almost. So I really like that. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of these and just put those right on our card. And let's see, we'll put two of them kind of down below. I know people always say, oh, you know, you do the three at a time, which is true. It does look balanced, but you can put one on, two on, whatever you want. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add this to the center of our card. Inside. And we'll just pop this right in the middle. And that's a great place for your message. Now you guys can choose to stamp a greeting or a sentiment of some sort, in the inside, or you can write a nice message yourself. But there is our first card. Here is the one that we made in class there. So that is card number 1. All right. And I think on this one, I did actually stamp inside as well. So that's kind of a cool look. All right. I do want to show you the envelope real quickly, just in case you've never done one before. This is a piece of 3x6. And it really only has to be, I think, 3 by 2.5. But you can, I make it just 3. It's just easier to cut a piece in half. And I did a video one time showing it doesn't have to be exact. So if you only have 2 inches, you know what? Then just bring it further down or show the bottom lip of the envelope. You know, nobody cares. You could do stripes, you know, whatever you think would look like a good use of those pieces of paper that you have. The only thing I will say is just make sure whatever you do, make sure you get around the edges, put your glue there, because you don't want it to pop off, you know, and get stuck in the mail or anything like that. Okay, and then you just take your scissors. I will say I love the snips, but I do think for this particular task, if you have a pair of long scissors, those might work just a tad bit better. Again, just personal preference. All right, so I'm just going to go around. There we go. And we'll toss that. And look at that. So now we have this nice envelope with our card. So it just goes so well together. And if you really wanted to step it up, you could even put that same image from inside the card and on the outside, and you could just stamp it right here. Make a nice little wispy area. So that is card number 1. Now let me show you our next card. All right. So another Flowery card. This paper this is the Countryside in paper, and that is in the annual catalog. The other one I showed you was in the September through December card, and I believe there is still some of that left. That's on a last chance item, so you'll want to be sure to get that if you'd like. Now, this card, we are using a piece that is 7.5 by 5.5. Okay, so this is 7.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 3 1/4. Okay, so you score it at 3 1/4. Then you're going to flip it like this, or You're going to flip it, yeah, like this, okay? So so you score, oh, let me make sure I get this. So let me back up. I'm going to make sure I get my mountains and all that right. Okay, so you're going to score it at 3, I said 3, just make sure, 3 1/4. Okay, so you're going to score it at 3 1/4, okay? Then you're going to, let's flip it this way, okay? And then you are going to score it again at 1 inch. And so the reason is because then after you score those lines, what you're actually going to do is then fold it here, and we're going to score it. We're going to burnish that end. But then this piece, we are actually going to fold this way. So your card is going to look like this. Okay, so this piece is folding somewhat under. All right. So let's go ahead and decorate this card, and you're going to see how it works. So first you're going to need a piece that is 3/4 by 5 1/4. And we are going to put that over here on that small end, right? We're just going to line that up and center it top to bottom and left to right of that score line. Look at that. Perfect. Then we are going to take another piece of cardstock, and this measures, make sure, 3 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, so then we have this piece that is 3 inches by 5 1/4, and we're going to put that and right down here. The little table that I'm on is a little squeaky. So, do any of you have a favorite Christmas tradition that you like to do, or that you do on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? So many fun things people do. I always think it's neat to hear it. I'm been thinking more about how to make it fun for so many kids that are maybe out, or that are kind of missing out maybe on some of those kind of tradition things. All right, so let me grab our next stamp that we want to use for this right here. And I think I am going to change it for this one. So I'm going to see if I just got my head in the camera. I think we might do this as a thinking of you, because I think my other one is not here. So this we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use Night of Navy, and we are going to stamp our greeting right here. And let's go ahead and do that. And let's see if I can get that in the middle there. Normally circles are pretty easy, right? That is one nice thing. All right, perfect. And then on the inside, I wanted to put a small, we'll take this thinking of you, and we're going to take these 2 hearts, and we'll just kind of put those on the inside. You'll see something just a little different on the other sample card that I have here. But we're going to do this. This will be pretty. And we're just going to put a couple of those little hearts right here at the bottom. Now, these came from the nature circles. I can't remember what they're called either. But I got to get better at that, you guys, because it's harder to find things on the in the catalog. Not everything's in the catalog, so I shouldn't say it's harder. It's just there's so many more choices, which is wonderful. So now we're going to take this circle. So again, this was, I think, maybe the second size circle with the number 4. And we're just going to layer those right on top of each other. And these are awesome because they come in the same set. And I know I've shared those with all of you before, but they really are nice. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to go ahead and just lay it right in here. So just a little bit of stamping and some cutting. And this piece is also 3 inches by 5 1/4. So just like that front piece, this piece has the exact same measurements. And if you ever wonder about that, because the top piece fits the same, here's our score line. So this is a piece and this is a piece. That's how you can kind of remember that they're always the same size. So if you ever make a card and you're like, what was that? It's pretty much the same. And then of course this is 1 inch. So we're just taking 1/4 inch off. So that's why it's 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. All right, now here comes the fun part. So this is what's going to kind of, one, keep our card closed. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a couple dimensionals right here on the side. Now you can do dimensionals, but you can also just make it so that you adhere it right down. So you can do either way, whatever you prefer. In this case, I am going to do a couple dimensionals. So I'm going to do those really close. And I need to make sure that my thinking of you is going the right direction, right? I want to make sure that it stays nice and lined up there. So I'm just going to put a couple, and then I'm going to turn it back over and make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. So, and you want to make sure it doesn't go over the edge, right? And then look at this. So now it's going to open like that way. So isn't that fun? And then I'm going to take this bow and we're just going to add it to the corner here. And this is I want to say Thule, but that's not right. It's like a really thick baker's twine, and you know, it's very fuzzy. I just can't believe I can't remember. Anyhow, it comes in all the in colors, so it is a great set to have. And we're just gonna, and this is boho blue, and we're just gonna put it right there. And there you have it, guys. Isn't that fun? I love it. It's such an easy card. And then this piece here is, again, 3 inches by 6 inches for the envelope. And we'll just save that for later. We won't do our envelope here today, just due to time. All right, so let me show you the other one. I think it's pretty much the same. I had a different greeting for this one, but I forgot to bring the greeting. So I stamped a flower, and then I added just another embellishment there in the middle of the flower. And then inside, I stamped that same flower inside the card. So slightly different, but other than that, the layouts are pretty much the same. All right, so that was card number 2 that we did in our class. And we're going to be having a kickoff of the new catalog in January. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be January 19th. I'm not quite sure. Right now, that's what it kind of looks like. Just purely based on time and availability. So I have some things on the 18th that I'm going to, and so we'll see. I have the online one. I will be doing an online kickoff the first weekend. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I think it's maybe Monday, might go in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can't remember, to show you new products, which you're going to just love. All right. So basic white thick white cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then we have a piece of basic black, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then what I did was I have 2 pieces. I have one piece that it was 4 inches, or not 4, I'm sorry, it was 3 7/8. So 3 7/8 by 6. And then what I did was I just put it in the cutter, okay, and I turned it a 1/2 inch. So what I did, and I'm just going to spread them apart a little bit. Well, let me do it the other way, because this is the way it would have gone in the paper trimmer. Oops, I did that. Oh, there we go. She would have gone in the paper trimmer like this. So I would have had this piece, let's just say, at 3 inches, and then the bottom piece would have lined up at 3 1/2. So a 1/2 inch gap between the top and the bottom. That's what I did. And what that allows you to do then, and what our card is going to be, is I'm going to have a piece at the top. I'm going to flip this piece. So now I can see this on the bottom. And it doesn't matter. So if I want to see more of the flowers, I think I'll move this one to the top. And what the 1/2 inch does is it gives you that area to layer, and it gives you that nice little diagonal line. That's what it does for you. So I'm going to, because I want this one on top, I'm going to glue this one down first. So I'm just going to take it right here and put it down. And just again, make sure that the border is even, on the same on the bottom and on the 2 sides. There we go. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to layer it right on top. So this is just an easy way, and you would get it if you had a piece of 12 by 12, you could get 6 cards, 6 of the same card out of, assuming it was like a patterned paper like this. You could get 6 cards out of it. So I'm just going to line that right up, get my borders so that they are the same. And again, lining up so that I'm covering all the spots and the edges, and then just gluing that down. So there is the start. Now I have a piece, and this piece was cut at, it was cut at 4 1/2. And then what I did was I lined it up on the 2 sides here, so that I could then just trim them off on the edges, and that allows it to be crooked, for lack of a better word. So again, same thing, line it up to where it's a certain length, and then you're just going to take your scissors and trim it on both sides. And that is the trick. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some adhesive here and pop that right down here as well, and just line it up so it covers those edges. Oops, there we go. Ta-da! Isn't that awesome? And then I took the Zania dies and I just cut 2 of them out in Lemon Lolly. And I'm just going to stagger those to kind of look more like a little flower, like that. So however you want to do it, I'm just going to put a little adhesive right there. And you guys, these cards were simple, but I'll tell you, you could take a Daffodil Delight marker and just make some lines in here from like your Stampin' Blends to add more color. You could put some of the bubble bath, whatever, and you could just go along the edges to make that just really look more pronounced. But again, these were kind of our simpler cards that we wanted to make. So before we glue those things on, let's go ahead and adhere this now to our card base. And then we are going to Then we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiments. And then this card will be done. The reason, you know, sometimes when you get to the end of the year, you realize you've been focused on Christmas cards and you sometimes run out of birthdays and thank yous, and you get a lot of gifts at Christmas. And so you want to be sure to send a thank you note to all those people who gave you like a gift, right? So this is just a great way to do that. I also think these also make great gifts. So if you make 2 of each of these, that's 6 cards. You could package that into a nice little box and give that as well to someone. I think they would so appreciate that. All right, so now we're going to get our thank you so much, which comes out of the same Simply Zania pack. So we're going to stamp our greeting in, and we're going to stamp it in Night of Navy, and then we are going to stamp a flower on the inside, just off the page, just to give it a little bit of something on the inside. This came from the double oval punch, and I think that is still in the catalog, or still in on the online store. So it's a good one. Hopefully it's still there. If not, you can use those same circle dies. Or a banner punch would look nice here too. All right, there we go. And now let's go ahead and clean off one of these, and we're going to get another block, and we're just going to go ahead and stamp a little bit of a flower. Oops, I'm going to have to get a little more cleaning here done. And there we go. All right. You know, it's funny. One thing I do like about this glass mat is you kind of have a space that you work in. But if you guys could see all the stuff around, it's kind of hilarious. All right, so we're going to take some Lemon Lolly. And this is not something that you're going to see like super close, but I'll show it to you. But we're just going to take this and we're just going to stamp right on the corner here, this flower. There you go. And you guys can't see it, but there is some of the adhesive. So, you know, when you get this nice glass mat, you get this nice little foamy cleaner there, which is super nice. So there you go. So that's on the inside. So now we're going to go ahead and take our flowers, and we're just going to adhere those right to our card. And we'll just add a little adhesive there. Pop it right there on the side. Take this and pop it up on some dimensionals. And then I am going to add something to the center. So I'm going to show you the one I did before where I added pink. In this case, as I mentioned before, let me get this sideways here. Oops. There we go. So, and you can also curl these up a little bit. You could do that before, or you can just kind of take your fingers, you know, and kind of get those to be up a little bit to make it look a little more like a flower or petals. So I'm actually going to take, I have some purple ones here, and I'm going to just take a couple of these and put them around in the center here. So in this case, I'm probably going to go ahead and use maybe 4 of them. Looks like that might fill the gap. There we go. Yeah. All right. There we go. So that is that one. Here is the other one that we did for our class. So I had some nice yellow. I had some nice bubble bath ones. But this one, I like this too. This looks very pretty. So there you have it. So these are the cards. So let me go ahead and just share with you. And these are the envelopes, by the way. So this is an envelope that we did for the first card. This was one that you get for the second. And then this is the third. And then let me bring in our other two cards. And then that is it. That's what we created today. So I hope you guys loved these cards. Again, I think all the supplies are available on the online store. So if you go to shop4seasonscrafts.com, that'll take you there. So these were the cards we made. And then I wanted to show you two other ones. And I'm not going to make them for you, but I want to show them to you. It comes in a kit. And it's these two cards right here. Super simple, just because and happy for you. And they come with envelopes. So they're already beautiful, pre-printed. This one has some vellum around it with kind of some little tick marks. You can stamp the inside if you would like, but everything comes where you don't need any ink. So they already come with all these different sayings. I think there's 4. There's happy birthday, thinking of you, lots of them. And then in addition, so you get to make 5 of each card. That is awesome. So you get 10 total cards in this kit, plus, you get this box here. Right here. And I'm gonna go ahead. Well, well, I'll open it up just so you guys can see it, because it literally is beautiful and you may not have seen it yet. So it is really sealed in there. The other thing that you get, so you get to make 10 cards. You get 5 of each of these. You get 10 printed envelopes. And then you get this box. And this box allows you, it holds your cards. So if you don't have a place, or maybe you have you make cards and you send them out pretty quickly, but this gives you, and these are like thick cardboard, if you guys can see that. This is not like flimsy. These are like heavy tabbed indexes, and you get 6 of them. Then, watch the magic, you get this box, and you can see how thick it is, and I open it up, and I am going to push down. Let me make sure I get this. I'm going to break it. Make sure I get it right. Aha, there we go. Yep, this gets pushed down, and then you can see, if you guys can see, there's adhesive tabs on the bottom. So I'm going to set it down, and then I'm going to pull those adhesive tabs right off. So make sure you're definitely on a flat surface when you do this. Push down, and you're just going to bring those right up. And do that on each side. Oops. And we might as well put this together, right? And I'm going to push down and put this right up on that side. But this would be a great gift if you wanted to put it together. You could give it to someone as a kit. It would be an awesome gift if maybe you forgot about, what am I going to get that person for Christmas? And you could give them this box already put together. And I'm going to, again, push it down and just run that right over. So I'm going to lay it flat here, and look at that. And now look at that. It is all put together. Now I can take these cards that I have, and let's make sure, because I think they go this way. Let's see. I have an order, right, that I want them to go in. So I want this to be the first, the second, the third, which is nice, right? Because they all go in a different order. There we go. I know you guys are watching me like there we go. Okay, so there they all are. I can put those right inside and they fit nice and snug in there. And the nice part about that is they can, you know, they're gonna stay put, and you can fill your cards in there. And the nice thing is too, and then it has this beautiful lid that fits right on top. Look at that. And hopefully you guys can see that. Isn't it pretty? It's just beautiful. I was very impressed with how sturdy it is. And then what you get are these labels, and these are clear. They're on a yellow sheet, but they're clear. And you can choose any one. There's 6: birthday, love and support, miscellaneous, seasonal, special occasions, and thank you. And they come in a lot of different languages. Oh, and then you have anniversaries. So all these different choices for your stickers that you can put on those different tabs in here. So I hope you guys love it. I think this is just such a wonderful gift, and you could fill it with cards if you wanted to give it as a gift, or you could give this to just somebody who maybe likes to craft themselves. But it's called, just so I tell you the correct name, it is called the Card Keeper Kit. So something certainly worth looking into. And there's an awesome special coming to join Stampin' Up! In January. So stay tuned for that. I'll be filling you in, and you will not want to miss it. It is really nice. And if you need to kind of replenish your craft room, or you want to just be able to enjoy that discount or be in an awesome community, well, yeah, I would love to tell you about the things that are now happening with our Stampin' Up! Community that I am part of. It's wonderful, and if you join, you get access to just a lot more stuff, which is wonderful. Okay, I think that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed these cards that we made. I am going to be pre-recording a scrapbook kit that I'm going to be putting together, but I will not be doing that live. I'll be doing it, and then I'll post it on YouTube with all the other videos that I have. All right. Thanks, you guys. If I don't, which I probably won't talk to you, but have a very Merry Christmas. And I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and friends, and just appreciate the reason for the season. So thanks much. Bye, guys.